Hi everybody, I'm Vijay Nadkarni and today I'm going to show you how to install a demo profile of Istio in your Kubernetes cluster. To get started, you should first have access to a Kubernetes cluster. You can either do this on your own computer with say Minikube, or you could set up a cluster on AWS or Azure or GCP. I have set up a cluster on AWS and I'm accessing it from an Ubuntu terminal running on WSL2 on my Windows laptop. Let's start by downloading Istio on our local system. So the way we do that is we go to istio.io, istio.io slash download, .io slash download Istio. We are actually downloading a script and we're telling the script that we want to get Istio version 1.9.1. There we go. Now I've just done this behind the scenes, so I'm not just going to download it again, but you can go ahead and do this. And when you do that, you're going to have Istio 1.9.1 directory downloaded here. So let's cd into it. And inside this directory is in the bin directory, you have the istioctl command line utility. So let's add that to our path. Export path equals present working directory / bin. We are adding that to our path. Now let's see if that's done. Let's try and call istioctl and let's see the version. So we've got version 1.9.1 and it's also telling us we have no Istio resources in our cluster. Now let's have a look at the profile list. To install Istio, it comes with several installation profiles. Let's list those profiles. istioctl profile list. If you want to see all of these profiles in all of their YAML glory, you can see that in their YAML files in the manifests directory / profiles. So these are different profiles which are essentially named configurations for installing Istio. Now, the default profile is the recommended profile for installing a production installation of Istio, and the demo profile is used to explore Istio's functionality and is configured with higher levels of tracing and logging, and it has lower resource needs. Now let's install Istio with the demo profile. So that's easy. We just do istioctl install and we set our profile to demo. It's going to ask us if we want to go ahead. We say yes. And it's going to now install Istio on our cluster. And it's done. Let's also install the telemetry add-ons that Istio provides to monitor network traffic in our Kubernetes cluster. So to do that, we just apply some Kubernetes standard YAML, which exists in our samples / add-ons directory. We start with Prometheus. And then let's do Kiali. Now I've noticed that it usually gives you errors the first time, but if you do that a second time, it should go through. Let's now do Jaeger and Grafana. Now, what are Prometheus, Kiali, Jaeger, and Grafana? These are tools that Istio uses to allow us to look at the network traffic and to look at statistics to do with that network traffic and to see where our bottlenecks are. And these expose a web user interface for us to get a visual representation, a visual way to see it. Now, I mentioned earlier in an earlier video that Istio needs sidecar proxies containers in your pods. And how do we get those in our pods? Istio will automatically put them there in namespaces that you want to use Istio in. And the way to tell Istio that you want your pods in a namespace to have Istio sidecars is by labeling that namespace Istio-injection equals enabled. So let's do that to the default namespace. We would do kubectl label namespace default Istio-injection equals enabled. That's it. Now we're ready to deploy our application in the default namespace of our cluster.